Circles have all kinds of fun relationships that we will learn about through this chapter. Okay, so this is basically just the vocabulary of a circle. This journal page will be pretty dang simple. There might be a couple that you're not familiar with, but most of them you're good. Center of a circle. That's my best guess. Radius of a circle is what? Halfway. So it's got to be from the center, though, right? That is key. Diameter. Straight across, but it's got to go through the center. A chord. Anybody know what a chord is? Okay, I thought there might be a couple of new ones. It is a line segment that goes from a side of a circle to the side of a circle, but it's not the diameter. How about a secant line? Is that one new? Okay, a secant line goes through the circle and continues, hence the arrows on each end. A tangent line touches the circle, and it's almost impossible to draw, but it touches the circle at one point on the outside. What does congruent mean?
They're equal.
They're equal. So I'm going to try to draw a circle that's the same size as that one. And then what does similar mean?
Same shape.
So same shape, but it's a different size. Yeah, we call it either dilated or, let's see, it could be smaller, it could be larger. Here's the question of the day. Are all circles similar?
Yeah.
For sure, right? All circles are similar because they are the same shape but maybe different sizes. Okay, so there's our vocabulary. That was no big deal. And then this one will be a trip down memory lane, reminding you how to work with the circumference and the area of a circle. So, like I said, we've seen it before, but then when they ask us a question, we forget what the formula is. So this will be pretty much just a reminder. And
now we use pi.
yeah, we use pi when we're talking about circles. In fact, while Tyler brought that up, sometimes it will say, your homework will say, in terms of pi. So what does that mean? If I'm doing my work and I have 3 pi and I go to type that in my calculator and do 3 times 3.14, I've rounded, haven't I? So in terms of pi means just leave it with pi. So if it says in terms of pi, you don't type in 3.14, you just use the symbol. So that will show up today. All right, let's start with the circumference on the left-hand side. How come I have 2 formulas? And why do they both work?
Because radius is half diameter.
Okay, I'm going to rephrase what you just said. 2 radiuses equal 1 diameter. So I've got my 2 radiuses, and that equals 1 diameter. Okay, so there are our formulas, and here is our first story problem right here. The circumference of a circle is 23 inches. What is the diameter? So if it's asking the diameter, do I want to use the first or the second one? I'm going to use the second one if we're asking for the diameter, right? Okay, so it says circumference. Do I know the C? Circumference is 23 equals pi times diameter, and that's what I'm solving for. Now, part A says use 3.14 for pi. So what am I going to replace that pi symbol with?
3.14.
All right, so 3.14d. How do I solve for d?
Subtract.
Divide.
Yep, divide. So I'll grab my calculator. 20, whoop. Here now, 23 divided by 3.14. And the diameter equals 7.32 if I round to 2 decimal spots, like we rounded pi to 2 decimal spots. So there's part A. But part B says to leave it in terms of pi. This is part B. If I can't replace the pi and I have to leave it there, what do I need to divide by to get the d alone, the diameter? What's next to it? Pi. So I am going to divide both sides by pi, and it looks really weird and we don't like it, but that is the answer in terms of pi. They're really noisy, aren't they? Does that drive you crazy? Do you want to like type it in your calculator and get a decimal? I kind of do sometimes. Okay, second problem here. Find the circumference of the circle using 3.144 pi. This time I want to know the circumference. I know the diameter again. So pi times diameter. Calculator problem, right? 3.14 times 20. Circumference is 62.8. Is this feeling like a trip down memory lane?
No.
Not at all. A little bit. It was a good refresher.
Feels weird because I never used pi.
Never used pi before.
I never used it in math equations. Yeah.
Gotcha. What you got there, Kylie? Were you on your phone? Put it away. Were you on your phone? We put it away. Okay, thank you. Do we need to do another circumference problem before I move on to area? Okay, area equals pi r squared. So here we are. The area is 2432. So there's my area. So 2432 equals, it doesn't say to leave it in terms of pi. So what should we replace that pi symbol with? 3.14 r squared. Okay, this is going to have a couple of algebra steps. What do I need to do to get the r squared alone? Divide by 3.14. Divide by 3.14. And I get 774.52 equals r squared. How do I get rid of the squared? Yep, we are going to square root that. So second square root of it. Okay, I get radius is 27.83. I typed that in my homework and it tells me try again. Why is it wrong? We did everything right. All the math there is right. Okay, it asks for the diameter, right? Sometimes we get carried away and we think we're done because we solved, but it wants the diameter. I know a radius, so I need to times that by 2. Double for diameter. So times by 2. And our diameter is 55.66.
Wait, so you do 27.83 times 2?
Yep.
Okay.
Because our diameter is twice the radius. Yep. Okay, last problem. This time it says find the area, so that's what I'm solving. Area is, and it says to leave it in terms of pi. So, pi r squared. What's my r?
3.
Yeah, if my diameter is 6, my r is half of that, which is 3. All right, so area is 9 pi. Can I go any further when it says leave it in terms of pi? No, we are done right there. That is it. All right, your homework should be open and ready to go.
Hopefully it makes sense.